Aloha, everyone, and happy February from Lemuria. Um, I was gonna make you jealous by sending you the picture of the people walking on the beach in Kailua. But Tatiana has trumped us because she's in Jamaica and she's showing us her beautiful view there. So anyway, wherever you are, it's a wonderful month of February. And of course, it's called the month of love because of Valentine's Day. It's also a time of the Lunar New Year, which is celebrated by, if not one, but billions of people, right? And it's the year of the snake. Thank you, Mahinaku. This is a special time. It's actually my husband's year. He's a snake. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying that's the year he was born in. And so it's a lucky year, and it's a great time to feel your own love. It's also in the astrological time of Imbolc, which is the cross quarter. For you folks that like astrology or astronomy, we're halfway between the winter solstice and the March equinox, or the December solstice and the March equinox. So it's a time of balance. And this numerology that we have this month, the number 2 month, I talked about it in my newsletter. It's on the webpage at KarinnaNielsen.com for this program. But it's a time of balance, and we can do it. Believe me, whatever you have in front of you, and don't look behind you, but whatever you've got right with you and in front of you, or what you project in front of you, we can do it. You can do it. And there we have all the tools. We have everything we need to move through what we're going through at this time, whatever that might mean for you. So I'd like to start like we do with all of our Heart to Spirit Connections program, and begin with a short opening prayer, because prayer is our way of communicating our intention to the realms of spirit and our higher selves. So everybody just take a deep prana breath and take some more. Take about 5, and just feel the light energy coming through your crown chakra. Imagine these golden particles like glitter above your head, and as you breathe in through your nose, you draw them gently through your crown chakra, send them through the pineal gland in the center of your head, and then draw them down into your heart chakra. And just as you exhale, just feel the expansion of that breath. So breathe in again and let the light come down into your heart chakra. And before you exhale, feel your love. Feel the balance of being you and being where you are in this very moment. And I call upon the Creator's light, the Christ light, the Goddess weave of love, and we'll call forth our Master Guide Kirael and Master Kahu Fred, and all the angels and the guides and the guardian lights that walk with us in this journey in our human incarnation here on earth at this time of the great shift in consciousness. And we know it's a beautiful time to fall in love with ourselves again and again and again, because we're doing a good job at being human. So as we breathe, feel your light and feel your love guiding you and expanding you. We pray that the energies of this webcast go out to all those here that are with us live and those that are coming in on the replay. And we pray that everyone feel the balance of their own love and light. and so it is in love. Amen. So we're here. We're here in February. We made it through January, which is a long month. Um, and a powerful one, don't you think? So it was our chance at beginning our conscious creation in this year of new beginnings. So we're in the year 2025, which is a 9 year, and we're focused on these new beginnings, these new creations that are coming up quite rapidly now. And so as we have the clarity now, because remember last month I asked you to get your masterminds set. So those are your intentions, your positive statements, your affirmations about your creation in this year 2025. So the 1 month is always a great time to create our intentions for the entire year. And, it doesn't mean you can't shift them or change them or anything like that, but we can use those intentions to guide us throughout the year. And here we are now in this two month. And I had an email with a new client just this last week, and she found out that she was a two. And what does that mean? She's a two. That means her Lemurian life path number is two. So when you add your your day, month, and year, all the digits, add them together and come down to one digit, then you'll find what your Lemurian life path number is. And hers was a two. So it was perfect for this month when we're talking about balance and we're talking about energies of duality, polarity. So we can see those things happening in our lives coming up for us or coming up in the world in general. This challenge of staying in the third dimensional yin yang way of understanding things, or expanding that and balancing it with our love and our goddess light, yes, goddess light, balancing the duality, the polarity, the tendency to want to go to this is good, that's bad, or you know, black and white, good, bad, all those things that draw us back into a third dimensional way of understanding what's going on in our world. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about today, because behind me, behind me there, you'll see this wonderful book from Kahu Fred Sterling and Master Guide Kirael called The Great Shift. And this is the revised edition with the beautiful cover. And there is just so much about what we're going through right now in that book that I want to bring that up and emphasize that we're in a time that we came here for. So we're all here for this great shift in consciousness. And yes, we wanted to be here. Yes, you did. So when the creator said, want to go to Earth, want to do another Earth journey, and you said, yeah, I want to go. It's the great shift, and I want to put everything in my blueprint that I haven't done in all those other lifetimes, and I want to really challenge myself to heal everything, so I don't have to come back again and be human. Then I won't have to do the third dimension anymore, and I will simply be able to, go fourth, fifth, sixth dimension, be an angel after this, be a guide, whatever we're focusing on after we finish healing what we need to heal. So if does that sound like a challenging life to you? Because why would we come here if it was going to be easy? So we all brought forth challenges for our life at this time, and I'm no exception to that. I put layers and layers into that blueprint, and you might have done so as well. So think about it now, and think about how far you've come in this lifetime to be where you are. And just right now on this webcast with me, you must have done a lot of healing to be able to hear something like that and not freak out, right? or to maybe resonate that that could be truth. And it is truth, because I wouldn't be telling you it if it wasn't truth. And so that brings us back into this idea of this duality, of balancing duality into love. And that's what I think of as the number two. I don't, are there other number two life path numbers? No, but I know, Mahina Ku, go ahead and raise your hand anytime that you have a question or you'd like to say something, or put it in the chat. Go ahead, Mahina Ku.
Cheryl put something cool in the chat.
Okay,
and so
let's
I
look.
wanted to bring it to your attention.
Thank you. Thank you. So, am I going to have to say that, Cheryl? This midwinter holiday fascinates because of the why don't you just come on, Cheryl, and tell us what you mean by this? You're,
Well,
you're,
I'll say it. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck would chuck all the wood he could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Okay, because I like that, so I had to say it. This midwinter holiday, and it is midpoint, right between the solstice and the equinox, is fascinating because it of its Algonquin roots. I even heard someone say other American tribes were very much into this particular mid-holiday. You can see also the Chinese New Year, the Asian New Year. This is a very much a recognized point. And also in Christian teachings, this was the celebration of Candlemas, and that was where Jesus was presented to the temple. And what's is very strong roots in Judaism, are very singular to this day. On this particular year, I am struck by the miraculous way in which animals know when to emerge from their burrows and dens. It is time for us to awaken from our hibernation. So that would be my mastermind statement in it. It is time for us all to awaken from our hibernation.
Or how about it is time for me to awaken from my hibernation?
You can make it fit either which way. You know, it's kind of elastic. It's an elastic phrase. It'll fit one and it'll fit all.
I love it. Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Cheryl. And that's so beautiful about the timing of where we are, because it's really hopeful, right? And my the title for this program is Hold On to Your Faith, Feel Your Love. And what a great timing it is for, just what Cheryl's talking about. Because of the energies of the great shift are compelling us to have faith, to have hope, to, Candlemas, candles, light. That's beautiful. That is just an awesome timing. So we can find ourselves at this time, and maybe you do feel immersed in personal or collective healing journeys. You're in tune to collective healing journeys, or the personal ones that can feel chaotic, and you're searching for that space of peace and calm. And as I said in the newsletter, I ran across this beautiful writing from Kahu Fred Sterling that speaks about this and encourages us to have faith and to keep moving forward in love. And it's called Hold On to Your Faith. So let me just put that right here in the in our program. So Kahu wrote, and this was for many years ago for a church message at Honolulu Church of Light. When all seems lost, or you feel as if nothing is going your way, go within your heart where the Creator's love resides, that place where you find a safety net of calm and peace. Then use your thought consciousness and your passion to call upon all powerful energy and communicate with the force of love. Your answer won't come in language or words. Instead, you will feel the gift of love. Remember, it is the Creator's will to speak with the power of love, transcending all language barriers. In love, you will want for nothing. You will remember to do the 5 or 50 journey, and you will recognize that your dreams can come true no matter how big or small. They will be accepted for what they are. One day, we will be so secure in the knowledge that we can have it all, that the word delivered in passion is all it will take. So that just gives me chicken skin. And somebody else I know calls it goddess bumps or something like that. But I mean, what a timeless wisdom we have from Kahu Fred Sterling and Master Guide Kirael. And for me, it's a really a source of, like Kahu said, calm and peace. And I know he didn't do that by mistake. He didn't say it should be peace and calm. No, calm and peace, because they Master Kirael and Master Kahu Fred always knew how to draw attention to what they wanted us to know. And so this beautiful writing brings up a couple of things that I asked about in the newsletter, like, what is the 5 or 50 journey? And this is something that we learn about in signature cell healing, because we all want to do the 5 or 50 journey. Now, we might resist it and we might think, okay, no, I just can't. But you can. Yes, you can. So the 5 or 50 journey is a journey of 5 steps or 50 steps or 500 steps or whatever it takes to achieve your dreams, your goals, whatever you're working toward in this lifetime. Whether it's something like getting a new car or a new place to live, or just peace and calm. Maybe that can be your 5 or 50 journey. So the 5 or 50 comes, it's so beautiful because, and I'm going to go to the Lemurian prophecy cards in just a moment, Sandra, don't worry. Because that number 5, Kahu didn't just pick that out of the sky. The 5 is the number for love. So if we're doing the 5 steps or 50 in Lemurian numerology, we're focused on love. And love is what it takes. Self-love is what it takes for us to continue to take the next step. Never give up. That's what it means. Never give up. Do whatever it takes for you to continue forward and reach your goal, whatever it might be. And Kahu used to do that in the workshops when we were there in the workshop venue, where the room there. He would always walk down the center of the center aisle and say he's trying to get to the back of the room, right? And it would take him 5 steps or 50 to get to the back of the room, but then he would talk to somebody over here or talk to somebody over there, but he hadn't lost sight of his goal, because on the way of the 5 or 50, we might find things that we didn't expect, find people that we didn't expect. And they are part of the 5 or 50 journey. So don't think that I went over here and that was a tangent that I shouldn't have taken because I'm off my path now. Wherever you are is going to be perfect. And if you can recognize, well, that was okay. Don't get down on yourself. That was okay because there I learned this or that, or here I met that person or this person. Just keep going. Just get back on the path, take another step. It might take you 50 steps to get to the back of the room like it did Kahu, or it might take you 500 steps. Just keep going and don't give up. So this is the 5 or 50 that we hear a lot about in the writings from Kahu Fred Sterling, Master Kirael. And I've got here next to me, Kirael, the 10 Principles of Consciously Creating, because this is truly the seminal work that has so much in it that can help us now, the 10 Principles. And so I've got my well-worn copy right here. And I found some things in there that I'm going to bring in just a moment, but I want to get to our Lemurian prophecy cards. So I do this every webcast that we have, the Heart to Spirit, and I've got my Lemurian prophecy cards here. So I want to shuffle 5 times because, as you already know, 5 is a number for love. So we're going to put love in the cards. So we're going to shuffle 5 times. And as I've told you before, if you've been with us, I think that's 5. Yes, 5. The Lemurian prophecy cards are based on the 4 bodies: the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual, and the Lemurian numerology. So each of the suits, the diamonds, the hearts, the clubs, and the spades represent one of the 4 bodies. So the diamonds are the physical, the hearts are the emotional, the clubs are the mental, and the spades are the spiritual. And then it follows a numerology, except for the face cards have a little more meaning to them. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So everybody put your energy into the cards. And we'll pull a card for this webcast today. Thank you very much. Okay, what do you think? The perfect card for February. So we've got the number 2, which we already talked about, the balance. You know, if we're in a situation of duality, you know, polarity, this and that, you know, good and bad, you know, this party, that party, whatever you want to talk about, you know, your regular 3rd dimensional world understanding of what's going on. You want to bring your love to it and raise it to a higher level of love, which would be the Trinity, right? The 3, truth, trust, and passion, and balance it in love. So we're in a month where we want to do that. And we've got the mental body, the clubs. And this is so important because we can tend to go to the mental body to figure things out. But what you might want to do is drop it down into your heart and use your heart mind, the mind of your heart, which is more powerful than your brain, because the neurons in your heart are certainly more powerful than the ones in your brain, to understand the situation, not to correct it, not to change it necessarily, but to understand what it means for you, right? Because everything in our world is going to have something for us to understand. So I'm going to put that right there. What'd you think of that, Sandra? Because I know you're a 3, right? I think you're a 3, true trust and passion. So that is a good one. And today, who put that in there? Cheryl? Today is a 3. Okay, so we definitely want to balance up. That's a good indication of that. So great. Any comments or any questions about that, or shares about that?
Karinna,
Yes.
can we consider breaking up the life path and like focusing on the number for the year? Because the number for the year in which I was born is a 2.
Oh, I see. That's good. Yeah, good to know. Good to know. And that is a year. Yeah, you have the energy of that year, that's for sure. But the total energy of when you chose to come in was the truth, trust, and passion. So, you know, your awareness of that is perfect because it helps you to understand, to elevate the yin and yang, us and them, or whatever, into a higher level of love, which is the trinity of truth, trust, and passion. And that is, within that trinity, you'll always find love, because love is the balance of all that is. And that's in the center of the trinity. So thank you for that, Sandra. That's perfect. Thank you so much. Any other shares about that or questions? Because this truth, trust, and passion brings us to another part of that reading that I just did from Kahu Fred, Hold On to Your Faith from Kahu Fred, there was another part in there that said, let me just get back to it. It said, one day we will, this is the last line, one day we will be so secure in the knowledge that we can have it all, that the word delivered in passion is all it will take. And that harkens to an understanding of the 10 principles of consciously creating, because that is when the book came out, that was the one of the taglines, you can have it all, right? And in those days, I hedged on that. I said, do we really want to say that? You know, in that time when the book came out, do we really want to say that? And now I understand, yeah, we did want to say that because it's true. It is true. And so we can have it all. And then what follows that is the word delivered in passion is all it will take. And that reminded me, and I think he is referring to the will and the word, which is something that Master Kiriel spoke on quite a bit. And he spoke on it in the book in, I don't know, I was going to go look for it this past week because I wanted to bring it into this webcast. I opened the book and I opened right to the page where it was. I thought it was so cool. And I marked it. But, you know, because I've been through this book so many times, I've got it all marked up. And in the margins, especially in the Passion chapter, which is chapter 3, I marked things in the margins, and you can see the highlight, and you can probably see my notes. And on the margin over here on page 49, I wrote the will and the word, right? And for me, that is such a powerful concept, that what we think or what we say has so much power because it's expressing our desires. It's expressing our desires. And that word that we think or say, it could be pretty negative if we're not careful, right? It could be what we don't want, yet we're saying it. And the universe, the creator, you know, our guides and angels, they don't know that that's what we don't want. We're saying it. So we have the power of manifestation through what we say. And that's the power of the mastermind, right? When we have a mastermind statement, we're not going to put in the mastermind statement something we don't want, right? We're going to put in there something we're striving towards or that we want, that we are creating, right? So why are we thinking negative thoughts, especially about ourselves, or, you know, when something comes up for us and like, oh, there, I did that wrong again, or, you know, here, this is bad, or, you know, I'm not as good as I could be, or how about replacing it with positive thoughts about ourselves? Or, you know, just when something goes wrong, think, well, let me understand that a little bit better, or let me try to, you know, tease that apart a little bit so I can bring it into my healing focus, right? So I'm going to get to this page 49 here because I had it all marked up and I wrote in the margin the will and the word. So I wanted to share with you that if you're looking along in your book, it is that 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth paragraph, fifth paragraph on the page. And Master Kiriel says, the creator, the existence of all that is, simply establishes one basic law of the human experience on the material plane. If you can conceive the thought and use the will and the ideas and the words to send yourself in that direction, whatever you have conceived will be achieved. There is no breaking of that law by the Creator's command. That's pretty powerful, don't you think? I mean, just reading it again and looking at my highlight over it and said, you know, even earlier in the paragraph where it says, do the journey with passion, not excitement. Remember, excitement is chaos. Passion is the true heart belief, the core understanding that you have the ability to do anything because you are the Creator's light. you know, and there I wrote in the margin, I could do anything. So, I mean, in my passion for exploring the 10 principles, I bring that to you now, that in the times that we're in right now, hold on to your faith, feel your love, and know that you are exactly where you need to be, especially Tatiana, because she's in Jamaica on a cruise, which is lovely. And, you know, we're where we need to be, you know, and we came here to finish up whatever we wanted to do in our human lifetimes. And that may be feel really, really challenging to a lot of us. But just know that you have the ability to weave love into everything that you're going through. And that whole idea from Master Guide Kirael of, if you can conceive the thought and use the will and the word to send yourself in that direction. So just move toward it. Hold on to your faith. Do the 5 or 50. Take another step in that direction. And whatever you've conceived can be achieved. So conceive it. Get the image in your mind of, I want to live in a nice place. And here's what I see. And go back to the January program, the webcast from January, do the meditation again to create your room for 2025 and see on that screen what it is you want to achieve and conceive of it, and you can achieve it. And believe it. Believe it. What do you got to lose? What do you got to lose? You don't want to doubt it, because that's kind of self-depreciating, I guess is the word. You know, you're going against your own self, and that we don't need that, right? I always learned, be your own best cheerleader, and give yourself a rah every morning and say, yeah, another day. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. And trust me, it's gonna get better all the time. Mahina Ku, please go ahead. There you go.
Sorry, it took me a little while to unmute. There is resident in our human internal soft technology this trick that all of us can do whenever we want to. Your brain doesn't know the difference between actually physically doing something or mentally imaging something. And so these star athletes, they actually use images of them doing whatever their sport is in order to enhance the muscle memory of what they need to do. So that whole thing about what if, it works. And it's part of our human internal soft technology.
Right.
Each of us can do this at any time. So if you're in that place where you're not too sure about it, just imagine it. And I think that's so cool. Anyway, that
Yes.
was my share.
Thank you so much, Mahina Ku, because that is essentially what Master Guide Kirael and Kahu have always said, that you can do it all, you can have it all, you can heal everything. Everything can be healed, you know. And I used to think, everything? Well, I got this going on now. This came up when I got to this age, or this happened, or yeah, everything. And I'm frankly, with you folks, since we're such good goddess lights, I am healing, and I am doing better every single day. And some of you know the physical challenges that I've been addressing for myself, and it's getting better. It's getting better every day. Sometimes I wake up and think, "Hi, it doesn't hurt. How about that?" You know. So what do you have that you're healing? physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Physical, I'm talking even physical. People that have diagnoses from doctors or even their own self-diagnosis that says, I've got this now, and that's fatal. Wow. Or I've got this now, and that means I'm going to have this down the line, right? Or I've got this now, and that's just the way it is. That's just the way I am. Get beyond that. Just know that if you can conceive of it, you can achieve it. And that is, like Mahina Ku was saying, that's more broadly known. When I used to run marathons, and I did used to run marathons and triathlons, and I did do the imaging. So that I responded to that part of Master Kirael and Kahu's message pretty quickly, because we were imaging the time across the finish line. If I was running a marathon and I kept meditating and imagining a 3:30 marathon in Honolulu. And you know what? I did it. And it wasn't, just because I have some kind of innate physical ability. I do believe it's because I did the 5 or 50 and I imagined it. So it is your power to image and to conceive of these things and achieve them. And what will happen is, this, what I've experienced is, the creator, the universe, whatever you want to call it, your higher self, will start to place these things in front of you that will help you do that 5 or 50 journey. So you'll find steps in front of you that actually help you to achieve your goal. And that's why you want to pay really close attention. You want to do the 4 pillars of consciously creating: prayer, sleep state programming, prayer, meditation, sleep state programming, and masterminding, to receive the guidance and to know, this is my next step. What's my next step? And that's always really good. That's what I've always asked when I'm in the middle of something that I'm just like, oh man, what is this? It's like, then that's when I go into meditation. I do the 5 breath self-healing meditation, of course, 3 times a day, and then meditate for the answers. So I can suggest that to anybody. I'm no different from anybody. You've just got to do this 5 or 50 journey that we know, and to find that space of peace and calm. So any other comments about it? Western medicine can be entirely metaphysical, no division necessary between the two. Yeah, you can weave that in. I thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, we can weave in our spiritual practices. And frankly, that's what I've been doing. Because the doctor said, I want you to take this, some kind of drug. And I was like, I don't think so. I think I'll do signature cell healing and get some answers. And there I found out different things I could do to help myself and to heal. Yeah, Cheryl, go ahead.
Well, I'm always struck when you look at the source of some of these Western medicines. Who developed this technique? How was it discovered? And a large bulk of the practices done for emergency medicine were all contrived by prairie housewives. They were out there, they had very little to work with, and they just did the things that nature showed them was available. And a lot of it really came from extremely benign and metaphysical sources. It was later adapted and somewhat converted into this or that, but now it's kind of being pulled back into its original source as more people get into nutrition. And I just think that some of the original source is still speaking to people, and they don't see a need to go with a contrived version of the medicine, but can follow the spiritual aspect of it as well.
Yes,
So,
I agree.
I love the Prairie Housewives story, because they didn't know what to do, so they did what they could.
I propose they probably asked the Native American housewives.
Well, they may have been one and the same, many of them. So,
The
Yeah.
native wisdom. I mean, the native wisdom has so much
very much so.
in it, right? I mean,
Yes.
that's the goddess light healers that were always, thought of as they're witches or they're medicine women or they're whatever, but they were really goddesses and healers, right? And many of us have that in our past life journeys.
Well, Karinna, since you brought up the witches and all that sort of thing, I remember a few of the signature cell classes I took with Kahu. He would say how people were accustomed to hiding their skills because of the way society would treat them, and that they had to conceal constant. They had they entered this lifetime thinking that they had to make sure they were not revealing themselves.
Mm.
Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I can. And I
Thank you.
will. Because we all came here as goddesses, especially if we've got the double X chromosome. And this is something we really learn a lot about in the signature cell healing workshops. And I'm going to be doing an online one coming up in March. And that registration is opening later this month. So keep your eyes out for that. On the 22nd, I'll be opening the registration for the March signature cell healing online workshop. And what we do as goddesses, because we're the double X chromosome, that's the complete balanced light of creation, because that's the divine feminine incarnate. And when we heard that the goddess light, heard that there was going to be a great shift in consciousness on Earth, because we needed to, the energy of Earth needed to rise from third dimensional to fourth dimensional vibration. That is the job of the goddesses, to herald a great shift in consciousness. So we all raised our hand to come here as goddesses, and the memory in our DNA or in our cells remembers those other lifetimes when it wasn't time yet to awaken as goddess lights, to come forth as the divine feminine or the goddess light that shifts the planet, because our love raises the frequency on the planet. So that memory does come up for us, and we are looking for, oh, is it time yet? You're right. Maybe we don't feel like, oh, this happened before, so I'm not going to say anything, or I'm not going to show that I'm a healer or show that I know about what to do in this case. But there are webcasts like this. There are books like Master Guide Kirael and Kahu, and different ways of understanding that now is the time. Now is the time to come forth in your goddess light, to learn what is your goddess color. So I'm a purple goddess. We have a green goddess. We have green goddesses here. We got blue goddesses here. We got, all colors here. We got an aqua goddess here. We're all here in our goddess light colors, and that's the time to weave together. We create a weave of love and light that allows us to come together to find the support that we need to do what we need to do at this time of the great shift in consciousness. And that's to bring forth our love in our personal lives, as well as in, for global healing meditations, like we're going to have later this month on the 10th is the global healing meditation for Mother Earth. These are all the things where goddess lights come together. And I'm not just talking about male or female, right? The males can also extend the Y chromosome and have more of an X, double X. So it is not just female, but it just is a little easier for the females to bring forth that love and the goddess light. Did I answer your question there, Cheryl? Okay, good, thank you. And then Mahina Ku had something she wanted to share too, but please.
I put it in the chat, and I'm not sure why this came into my mind when it did, so I'm just accepting. But what I heard was the path of data to information to wisdom dances throughout our lives.
It's beautiful.
And it for me, it's part of the scientific principles.
I want to honor the way that flows from the mental into the emotional, because the path of data that suggests to me, something mental that I have to analyze, and then the information too, but then wisdom brings me into my heart, and I can feel that emotional connection. And it's so important, and I thank you for that, because of that flow of moving from the brain into the heart wisdom that we all have. And that is also our goddess light, right? The wisdom of love, the wisdom of knowing, and not having to figure things out, but just to know them. So this is one of the great things the Master Kirael always said to me, or said to all of us: when you know, you know. And I was thinking, when you know, you know. And then I thought, yes, when you know, you know. When you know, you love. You love. That's the next level. When you know, you know. Okay, that takes me into my heart. So when I know, I love. And I want you to take that into your meditation sometime this month, but just feel the balance of that, the knowing. And already there, the knowing is something that, I worked on, that people work on. What does that mean? I know. You have to know that for yourself. You know when you know, right? You have to know what that means. When you know, you love. And we're going to go to a meditation now, just a meditation for you to feel that. What I'd like is for you to find that space of peace and calm that Kahu Fred spoke about, and pray that your knowing will help you on your 5 or 50 journey, and under your understanding of the will and the word, and how powerful you really are when you believe in yourself and you have the faith to keep going and to do that 5 or 50 journey. So everybody just get comfortable, and we're going to do a short meditation. So in your space where you are right now, just begin breathing and feel the golden particles coming through your crown chakra. And then when they get to the pineal gland in the center of your head, where the blueprint is with the signature cell, our life plan, they change into white light. Now continue to inhale them down into your heart space, and lock the breath there, and weave the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual body together. And as you exhale, start to expand your light from your heart. Breathe, and then expand out from the physical to the emotional body. And now breathe again and feel your physical body, all the 70 trillion cells, just feeling the love, expanding into your emotional body, into your mental body. Another breath. Light up your physical, your emotional, your mental body. Connect into your higher self, your omni consciousness. Keep breathing and expand into your spiritual body until you're just this expansive being of light. Now just keep breathing there and expand your light more. And within this space of love, there is no past, there is no future. There's just right now. So just breathe and just feel the centeredness of that, the balance, your love for you, your knowing. Keep breathing again and feel the light expand again through that 4-body weave And now you become even larger, so large that you cannot even be contained by the structure that you're in right now. You start to go above the house where you are, above your apartment, above the space where you are, and just notice as you expand, you can see other beings of light expanding their light. It could be us here in the webcast. It could be other spiritualists in other parts of the world with expansive light. Now connect your heart and your light into this weave of love, of goddesses, of spiritualists, of light workers. Rise above the world that we know in our conscious sense and allow your heart light to connect one to the other, connect into this weave of love that is above our planet now, this omni-consciousness of all light. We are all connected into this omni-consciousness. We are all part of this weave. Our higher selves, through our higher selves, we're always part of this weave of love. And you can go here at any time. And within this weave of love is an infinite source of possibilities. So just weave into this light and now imagine, project into from your mind, from your heart light into this weave, your intentions for balance in this month, your intentions to find that space of calm and peace that Kahu is speaking of. Find this space of peace and calm and bring it down. Bring it down through your higher self, through your spiritual body, through your mental body, your emotional body, and let it land into your heart chakra. And just bring this feeling of peace and calm and the knowing that you can have whatever you want. So just find the love, create the vision, and determine to walk the 5 or 50 journey to the manifestation of your desires. And know you are worthy of this love. And now as you bring yourself back to where we began and where you were sitting in this time of now, tap your feet on the floor, open your root chakra to ground yourself back now into your space. And just know you can return here anytime to create this vision and feel that feeling of peace and calm. Whenever things feel out of balance, bring yourself into this balanced space of love. Gradually come back now. And as you're coming back, I want to remind you that, first of all, our next program is going to be on the 1st of March, which is also the first Saturday of the month. But just to remind you that the global healing meditation for Mother Earth is Saturday. I think it's a Saturday, maybe not a Saturday, February 10th. It is February 10th. And that is another opportunity to get into that weave of the omni-consciousness that surrounds our planet and weave together a vision of healing for Mother Earth. I hope you'll continue and join me tomorrow at the Honolulu Church of Light for the Sunday healing service at 9 a.m., the same time as this program was. And you can find out more information, and the log on link YouTube link to join us in the streaming at HonoluluChurchOfLight.com. It's a beautiful service, and we'll be doing the 5 breath self-healing meditation together. So if you want to know more about that, that's where you can go. And also, I hope you'll join me for the Signature Cell Healing online workshop coming the 22nd, 23rd, and 29th of March, 3 hours each time. We have a great time. It's really a lot of fun. And afterwards, you can always join our graduate review class, which is a group of beautiful goddesses that we have right here. Some of them are right here now. So any shares from our meditation now that everybody's back? Oh, thank you. February 10th is a Monday. Okay, so Monday, February 21st. Was that Mahinaku hand? Yes.
If you look in the chat, Cheryl has put in some information about World Sound Healing Day.
Oh, wonderful. Cheryl, you want to tell us about that?
I would
Wonderful.
say, first off, that there's still time to enter the events that you have on February 10th into that, because for the week ahead of World Sound Healing Day, which is February 14th, there is a week of anticipated event, lead-ins. And I have an event at the radio show I host. I just happen to have a time slot on that Monday, but I don't see why you couldn't enter the Honolulu Church of Light events as well. For that week.
You mean the global healing meditation, Cheryl?
Yeah, the sound healing, yes.
Yeah, that's
The
my
global
event.
sound healing meditation with it perfectly, because the goals are identical quite nearly. And they would welcome you, and there's really not a lot of paperwork.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And it would bring more people in. I think we all have recruitment compulsion to address it this time, because we're the biggest kept secret. A lot of people don't know what's going on other than what they see between the ads on TV. So it's just nice to put the word out there occasionally.
Sure, and you're really good at that, Cheryl. Thank you so much.
So it's Jonathan Goldman behind it. So I mean,
oh yeah, he's wonderful. Yeah, wonderful fellow. Yeah, so thank you for that. And that's World Sound Healing Day.
Yeah, and I have a link. To the whole thing there, and it's my show that I gave the link to, but it gets you to the whole thing. So you can just link to that later on when you get a chance. Maybe do it before you sign off. Just link to it now, and you can look at it later.
Great.
And I did have a response to your to your event of meditation there, and for me it was a big event. I still have the dancing data in my backdrop of thinking. I was thinking of the dancing data. The dancing data. And when you said to lock the 4 bodies, I thought, well, how do I lock the dancing data 4 bodies that are dancing right now? And I went with the Rockettes and the June Taylor dancers, and they all joined at the elbows and did their high kicks. And it was really like, oh, we got a show going on here. So then I just thought, well, why fight this image? So in came the water ballet, and then there was Cirque du Soleil and the big top, and then rockets started shooting up, and then drifting down in one quiet little moment was Tinkerbell with a little sparkler, and that was the grounding of it all.
Oh my goodness!
It was such a cute little dancing number, and I even have the name of the group that was doing background music. It was the Omni Consciousness Quartet. That was fun. It was a lot of fun. But then my dog got excited and started barking. How the energy was shifting in the room.
Well, I think it's beautiful to have that great, your child self coming out, and
it was just a whole show. I just kicked back and watched. It was fun.
Yeah.
How do you like that for a group? The Omni Consciousness Quartet.
I love it.
I love it.
Physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual.
There you go.
Mary Faith, please go ahead. Gotcha.
Is your class from 9 to 11 California time, West Coast time, not yours. Cheryl's.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is, yes, and that wasn't evident, I'm sorry, but they do have a map up there also. That you can see
Okay.
where we're broadcasting from.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Great.
Oh,
Oh, thank you so much.
While I have you on here, while I'm still chatting away,
Sure.
when we talk about the 5 to 500,
Well, I hope it's 50,
it is.
but it could be 500. That's
But
all right.
I always think of that story in the Bible of the man who asked Jesus, why do I have to forgive my brother? He was mean to me. Why do I have to forgive him? And Jesus said, you have to forgive him. And his brother said, how many times? And he said, 7 times 7, 70, 7 times 70. So it's sort of like the same thing.
Oh,
You keep doing it
wow.
until it's
Well, that
done.
makes sense because of the 7 is the number of transition and change, right? So it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
They knew the numerology, of course, Lemurian numerology.
No, they just know how long it takes me to forgive my sister.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, okay, so let me just briefly say that whatever, forgiveness between siblings is possible because I worked on that in my family. And
Okay.
we're now best buddies. So, not best buddies, but I mean, I have a better understanding of my relationship with my sibling. So,
Okay.
yeah,
There's hope.
it's possible. And you know what, Mary Faith, it's a good month to get out of the duality, of relationships, and no mistake, Valentine's Day, I love you or I don't love you, is in this month. So it's a great time to focus on just loving, everyone. And, Kahu was so good at that. He just said, I love everyone. In those final years, got in front of the camera, go back and look at some of those replays from those years. He just said, I love everyone. And when I first heard him say that, I thought, how's that? How can he do that? But now I understand a little bit better what he meant. So yes, Wendy, go ahead.
My mom used to say something to us growing up, and she would say it about us. And she would say, I love you very much, but I don't like you right now. That's really, she was able to separate. So we knew we were loved, but our behavior wasn't so good.
Oh, that's a great way of knowing it, right? That's perfect. Your mom was gifted, I tell you. Yeah, how fortunate you were to have a mom like that. It's beautiful. Yeah, thank you. Well, I'm wishing you a very beautiful, beautiful month of February. And looking forward to seeing you in the Trinity month of Truth, Trust, and Passion, March. But be present in this month. There's a lot of things coming up, planetary wise. There's a lot of water stuff coming up, and there'll be a period of time at the end of the month, the 23rd to the 28th, where, if you're into this, retrograde motion and direct motion of planets, it's just from our perspective, the way the planets move, that's all. But from my feeling, it influences things that happen on the Earth plane. And it not just influence, but it's kind of a reflection. So all planets will be in direct motion in that last week of February from the 23rd. So just, use that space where all planets are direct to consciously create your journey for the next month of March. And I'm just giving you a heads up on that right now. Consciously create it, get your masterminds right, and launch it at that time when all planets are in direct motion, because there's an energy that starts. Sometimes when planets are retrograde, you've got a kind of a time to reflect and to recreate things and to just work through things. But when all planets are direct, and it happens, every now and then, but not all the time. Put your energies in there and watch your creations get legs and move into March. Just a thought. Mahalo to everybody, and thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Tatiana, Mary Faith, Cheryl, Sandra, Aldine. Thank you all so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. You can email me at KarinnaNielsen.com. Aloha, and have a great month of February. Bye, everybody.